Hello and welcome back to Satisfactory. As you can see, I have set up some stuff. Actually, let's turn on a few more options here. Let's show power and show the belts. There we go. That's better. So this area over here, this image is coming from the Satisfactory Calculator interactive map. I have saved my game really quick before I started the video and popped it into the renderer. And you can see all of the foundations and power and belts for the new stuff I just set up. And we also happen to see it for Big 6 over here. So you see how Big 6 is just kind of sprawling out there. Here we have our drone ports, which feed into these buses, which curl around, and these only show one line here, but they're 5 lines or 6 lines vertical. And our job now is to start putting down machines to build the stuff we want. We have these 14 spaces all set up for them, ready to go. And bring all the stuff back to the space elevator, which is over here. Just wondering why there's a gap. These 4 foundations are differently colored, so that must be it. So let's turn off the map. There we go. So I got all these put in. As you saw on the map, all their outputs come to these 5 wide highways here, which come out to the edge. They get sent downward, and I turn them into a vertical bus. These are just stacks of splitters that I use to keep the belts aligned. They can make nice corners. And boom. I trimmed the top one off of these guys because we only have 22, not 24 items. If I add items to this belt later on, I can always just pop along here, adding another one on top. We've got powered everybody. We have the drone ports are hooked up and powered. I have not placed drones in them. I won't place a drone until I'm ready to actually program up the port and have it go out and get stuff. We have this power. And I have the whole thing on this priority power switch. If I turn it off, you can see that over here, we could potentially be drawing 2.4 gigawatts. Now, I'm not sure why, right. I'm not sure why it still shows the power boost on this side of the switch. Because our capacity is 0. Apparently, this is still just using the total power boost. But let's turn this back on. The important thing is that when I arrange my outputs over here, I'm going to want to set it up so that while we're building, everything just goes to the sink. And the last moment, I will clip in the new belts to route new stuff to the space elevator, and we'll be good. I think we're good to go. So what do we want to do, and in what order? Basically, I need to put 7 machines on each side. If I put them centered on these 5x5 areas, which I think I'm going to do. So we've got that much space there. This is going to spread things out quite a bit, but that's okay. I think, again, this is going to be a arrangement that I will continue to use. Even after we unlock this phase, I'll just wipe off all the machines, and we'll go back to this baseline layout here. I'm going to start from the bottom. Nuclear pasta on the right, thermal protection rockets on the left, magnetic field generators on the left, and then the assembly director system on the right. We'll see how that happens. So, nuclear pasta. We need a particle accelerator. Oh, we're starting out with a bang. So the particle accelerator needs to be centered on this guy. I didn't leave any borders or anything around here. So we'll have to count on recognizing that these are on the midpoint. So particle accelerator. So let's take a look at that. I haven't built any yet in this base. We have our inputs over here. Potentially, a particle accelerator can take liquid and two solids, and it's got a solid output. Now, its output is nuclear pasta, which is going directly out to the elevator. So I think this is the orientation I want. And its inputs are copper powder and a pressure conversion cube. And those are both inputs to this system. In fact, if I check it, it's a net import. So we're the only consumer of copper powder. Pressure conversion cube is also an input to thermal propulsion rockets. And it's a net input. So these two are inputs, which I'm going to take from here. Since the pressure conversion cube is shared, I will put pressure conversion cube on the bottom over here, and I will put my copper on the bottom over here. We want to arrange this so that it comes out the correct direction and then reverse it so we're going top to bottom and clip it into place on the bottom line. Now at this point I could, if I take it from the top, I can get rid of the top line for the rest of the direction. So the top line's going to go away, so I don't try to feed it in anywhere else. And we just have to trace back along here to figure out which drone port this is. It's the innermost line. It's this guy. So copper powder for P4. So copper powder supply is where he's going. And you have fuel. And you are getting ready to go. You'll come back with copper powder shortly. I'm going to go from here. I'm just going to do that straight. Your other input is the pressure conversion cube, which you're going to bring over from here, because you are shared with the other side. And same thing, I'm going to come in from the top. Now, I don't know how far this guy needs to go down the line, because he's also going to be used on the other side. Let's take a look. If we are going with that, so it's going to be going down to the third row here. So we can either start from the bottom here and work up, or the top and work down. I think I'm going to start from the bottom and work up. So I can already put this one in. And this isn't going to be needed either. So that will go to eventually to our turbo pressure motors. So by looking ahead on this just a little bit, I'm able to work out how to get lines to disappear from my vertical bus. And that's you. Whoops. So apparently I did not name my pressure conversion cube station. Let me see if I can find it. I believe that's one of the big four. This is why I try to rename things consistently. And what we're doing right now is a consequence of the fact that apparently I forgot. We should have a passive drone port over here somewhere that is full of pressure conversion cubes. It's too bad we can't search for ports based on the contents of their inventory. And yes, this ran overnight, which means everything is completely filled up. That looks like the conversion cubes. And we get to the drone port, big 4 supply A. Let's check the rest of these. Heavy modular frame supply is renamed properly. Fused modular frame supply is renamed. And this guy is fallow. Okay. So I like the fact that my consumers just say what they're consuming. They may have to pick one of several stations, but they don't necessarily know where those stations are. Hey, that bus looks pretty good from here. I do like the look of the vertically oriented buses in Satisfactory, to the point where maybe I'll just let these lines stay here so the bus will just be filled with its components. Not a bad thing. We have, since we're letting this run overnight and such, I could even take these last 2 lines and put the drone fuel on them. So the downside of leaving this open is when we first fetch something, even if we have everything all set up, half of its output will go to filling the rest of the line. I don't think that's too big of a cost. Let's fix this where there. This port. Pressure conversion cube supply. So while that is in process, I do need to have a consistent layout down at the elevator for capturing the overflow. And I want to do that as close to the outlets as possible. So we're going to come all the way down here and get a smart splitter in just right like that. Now these are super slow, so what I'm going to do is bring up from these areas down below into a single merger. So we want to be in the middle. I'm going to merge it and send it forward. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, can't do that because it's going to come up here. Hold on. Merger, let's send it out. And we'll bring it around to somewhere where we can actually, I kind of want to get it away from this guy. If I bring it around from here, there we go. And from here, we'll head it off this way. Here's our grand P4 sink. I think those are the proper holes to get back down. No. Oops. So let's put it there and there. So initially, forward is going to be none. And I'll just set left and right to overflow. We'll just bring this out here, somewhere arbitrary. And what I'm thinking is when we reprogram this, I will program him to do one specific item that direction. I will select the proper thing. Let's make sure those are set. I need a storage container. So let's see if I put those in there. Yeah, it did not pass any of them in. That's correct. Oh, you need power. Nobody saw that, right? Right. Now we're still running this as a local game. The server is still running the old image. We'll just load the new save into it once I'm done here. And the other guy, let's make sure that he's got, let's put some rubber in there. He didn't get programmed. Ah, good thing I tested. So, overflow, overflow, none. There should be none. I need to pick this up to get that last one out of there. Wait, you can supposedly pick them up from the belt, but I am low confidence that it would get every one of them. There we go. Same thing on the other side. Again, this guy is in the wrong place. I think that's the right place. Yep. So merger coming out to the right. Kind of arbitrary. What lane did I bring this out to? Just outside the pillar. Doo-doo-doo. That feels like it's a different distance. Did I get something not centered? Oh, right. It's a different distance because I've got all this extra belt work. That's fine. And we can get rid of these. None. Overflow and overflow. None. Overflow and overflow. Let's test it. Let's see, I'm going to put some of those in there and some of those in there. You should see nothing coming out here. Check. Oh, just for reference, while I was putting all of those belts in, near the end, I actually ran my depot down. So this was using all-clad sheets. Actually ran me out of all-clad sheets very near the end. Still, it refilled almost as fast as I was putting things down. So everything's clean as a whistle. It recycled the stuff it needed to recycle. So we have our inputs. I did not actually move it out to the space elevator, who's making nuclear pasta. I am going to sloop this. I'll be slooping the final stage of all of it. And once I get it working, I may consider slooping another slash through the graph. If you consider the entire production graph, if you draw everything coming top to bottom through the graph, you draw a horizontal line that cuts every line once. You can, if you double everything along that line, it doubles the rest of it. And it may or may not be worthwhile to do that. So we're going to come out this way. I'm going to come all the way across here, like that. So if we need to grab from this stack to head out this direction, or either one of these two stacks, we'll have to bring it on the next level up. That's actually bad. I'm going to reroute this. So instead of doing it from here, I have it come to here. And I'm going to bring it all the way over. Well, we'll still have to do some jiggery-pokery. So he now has his inputs. He doesn't have power. Where is your power nub? Your power nub is here. So we're on this midpoint, roughly. And yeah, okay. How's that? Did I get it even close? Not too bad. And you need to be routed back that way. That is super easy. So we can't quite bring it to there. I can bring it to this middle lane. That'll reserve the outer lane for the other product. It's going to be on that area. So you're going to be turning out 1 nuclear pasta per minute. And what we want is 0.104 nuclear pasta per minute. So we are overbuilding nuclear pasta here. Let's set this to 0.104 per minute. Point 1 is not good. There. I'm hoping that will cut our power requirement down. Well, we won't know. Now, the Summers loops are not there for capacity reasons. They're there to conserve input quantities. Now, that's actually this one. So I am going to bring you out to here, like that, and then we'll route the other one around. Actually, let's do that. So 0.11 per minute. So every 9 minutes, this will turn out one of these guys. Oh, 0.22 per minute. Oh my goodness. All right, yield is 2 because of this loops. I was looking at my recipe, it said builds 1. It's like, oh, we're building 2. Okay, that's correct. That's what we want. Let's not put the sloops in until we are ready to crank this up. But let's get I got an idea. Let's get our first set out really quick. So did this actually take effect on this build, or does it take effect on the next one? Let's change recipes. There we go. I don't think this is actually doing what it should be doing. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to do this again. It's not clear when that stuff comes into play. Okay, we are on the 5x5 nicely. So at what point does it shift over from the 0.5 to the 2.5 per minute? Not clear. I think it actually has to build something before it samples that. Okay, it'll be a hot minute before this is ready to go. You hit there. Yeah, see, it hasn't. It's going to do one output at 1, and then it's going to switch to 2. So let's go get rid of some of the stuff in our inventory here. Did I? Yeah, I got rid of my captive awesome sink over here, didn't I? So, yeah, apparently that one machine can like eat all of the output from the entire base. See? Boom. He ramped up all the way up to there. So, yeah, this is not a good idea. Yeah, see, it was going up to 20 gigawatts. Gonna be disappointed if I can't sloop this one, because that would mean 16-hour runtime. So 6 gigawatts. Okay. This is going to be a very hungry factory if I'm not careful. I may need to go bump my my power supplies. I think this might be our only particle accelerator, though. Hey, we got some output. So we can make nuclear pasta. I'm going to grab back the Summers loop. We'll come back later and find out how much energy he uses without being slooped. Nuclear pasta is done. So, 3 manufacturers: turbo pressure motor, modular engines, and thermal rockets. So, turbo motors are used in this guy, and the modular engine. So these two feed into that one. Was that a completion? No, it wasn't. Manufacturers. Do we have a unconfigured manufacturer? We don't. I would like to put him up with a subfloor so that everything gets tucked neatly. So let's go find our I think we don't have one anymore. Blueprint designer. Just gonna toss him out here in the middle. Make sure that there's power around him so I can continue to use my hover pack. So we want to manufacture here on a decent subfloor. Concrete foundation, we put in one of those. Shift to 1 meter. There we go. There's the floor where we place it on top of. Manufacturer is going to have its inputs from the white arrow direction. Output is going to be here-ish. That should give me plenty of space below to maneuver belts around. The next thing is I want to do a raised floor. I believe it's to this level. I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's visible in there. Power. Power comes from here. Dead center on this line. And half meter up. Since I want to do half meter, we need to go all the way down to the bottom. There's our half meter offset. So that's good. And that's good. And that is as close as we can get to the pole. I think for the purposes of this blueprint, well, we know that we need to put the lifters in here. And for this build, it's just going to come in from the right. And I'm going to take my output out to the side. So what's my naming convention on these again? So unconfigured singleton is just BB whatever. I can leave him there. We need 3 of those. Okay, first guy is turbo pressure motor. And that's not unlocked yet. Let's go down and make sure all 3 of those are unlocked. What? Hold on. I may need to run through some unlocks real quick. I'll be right back. It just strikes me that while this is researching, I can do the rest of them. So we don't have the turbo pressure motor recipe unlocked quite yet. You require motors, cubes, gas, and stators. And the next guy is modular engines. And the last guy is thermal production rockets. Thermal propulsion rockets, there we go. Okay, let's get the power going. And these 2 guys' output goes to the first 2 inputs of him. So these 2 get turned around. And you are coming in from here. Oh, got 2 of these, right? Let's run these guys out to the right a bit. Say to here. Here. Okay, there's the first 2. So the turbo pressure motor requires motors, pressure conversion cubes. Oh, nitrogen gas. Let's unpackage our nitrogen. Oh, he requires packaged. Oh, well, that makes that a lot easier. Instead, so 4 things coming from the belt. We have 1 of them here already. It strikes me that we're out of luck if we're going to be peeling any more from there. So boom, boom, and boom. Yeah. So I need to be careful about this kind of thing. So that is the pressure conversion cubes. Let's pull motors from here. I think I'm going to be able to make this work. So motors and cooling systems. And yeah. What I really want to do is bring this out so we can automatically route them. Okay, so back to this. We've got the pressure conversion cubes, so we need to do motors on this line. It's coming from here. Okay, so you're going to get us motors. Next one is packaged nitrogen gas, which I am getting from this line. And I guess I don't have to worry about unpackaging it and returning the canisters. And it's the innermost of these, which is the second one. Packaged nitrogen supply. And the last one, just coming in from the second from the top, is the stators. Oh, wait a minute. Which one did I set up? Him, right? Yeah. So this should be stators. Okay, so without the sloops, it's only 1.5 gigawatts. We'll get everything together and That'll be a 16-hour build time. And then I'll see if slooping it can be done within power budget. So I'm okay with letting this run for 16 hours. How are we doing for our... perfect timing. Let's see if this unlocked turbo pressure motors for us. If not, I'll start another one. There's turbo pressure motor. I guess it was always there. Okay, so this is 4 motors, pressure conversion cues, packaged gas, and stator. So that's what we just set up. And I am going to need to start another hard drive scanning. So turbo pressure motor. Second one is modular engines. We're going to have motors coming in. Oops. No, turbo pressure motors go to that guy. So this guy, yeah, motor, rubber, and smart plating. So we do have motors coming in somewhere. Okay, so it's filled in. So we've got our motors here. So this guy needs to get motors from the top. I think I like the idea of always bringing it out at an angle like that. So there's the motors. Motor, rubber, and smart plating. I don't think rubber and smart plating are on my list yet. No, they aren't. Just for fun. No, actually, if I bring the rubber in on this line, it means this guy may be out of luck for that stack. I'm willing to do some jiggery pokery, but let's not go too wild. Let's bring the rubber in over here. So that's this line. So second one here. I probably should have just put my inputs into the drone ports, let them fall where they may, and then put in taps. I think if I can bring these guys, if I can always use these splitters on this edge, that makes it look very nice. But if not, I am not averse to sneaking in splitters on the vertical bus. So you should be running. You have turbo motors. Why did you not have output? Oh, did I forget? Yes, I did. So turbo motors should have flown across to this guy. Yep. motor rubber should be coming out here soon. Smart plating I'm going to put below the nitrogen. So smart plating. Up we go, and it's the second row. There's nitrogen, and here's smart plating. One lone little splitter down there. From one of those times where I clicked and I didn't see where it went. And these three now need to be brought into here. Now, let's see, one of these, at some point we've got one of these, I think it's up in the assembly director system, where I do have to overclock. There's our smart plating. Looks like rubber's coming in. Yep. I want to wait until I see this. So as I assign more lanes, I don't try to put more than one thing on the same lane by mistake. And you are building modular engines. What do you need? You need cooling systems and fused modular frames. I'm going to put one of them here. Make sure this lane's free. Yep. Going to bring you to here. And fused modular frames. Going to bring you here. Since I haven't pre-planned this, what I'm trying to do is kind of spread my inputs across the 4 areas. So cooling systems first. Cooling systems is next to the electric motors, next to the motors, which are back that way. I think they're at the far end. Yep, so cooling systems are here. Cooling systems? Yeah, okay. This port. I think I misnamed one of these as heatsink supply. And I don't know where he is. Drone ports. So cooling systems for P4. We've got heatsink supply way down south, which I think is actually heat sinks. But I think this port here in Big 6, I think he's actually cooling system, not heat sinks. I think he's the southeast active, southeast passive port. Gosh, that's the second error I've found. Verify based on what's actually in there. So you actually have cooling systems. So cooling systems for P4 picks up from this port. And yes, you can do that. So on any of my drone ports, I can program any of the other drone ports. So he's got no drone. That's good, because if I misprogrammed it, it'd be kind of awkward to call him back. So that's cooling systems, I think. And the other one is fused modular frames. It's coming in here. So next to the stators. Hold on. Next to the stators. Those aren't stators. Okay, is the stators. Fused modular frames, so it's copper and stators and fused modular frames. It's on this, so it is on this side, so I was just confused. So there's the copper, and there's the stators, and this guy is fused modular frames. Go fetch. Nice little moth drone. So if I've done that right, this guy should now have everything he needs to make thermal propulsion rockets, which need to go out that way and down. And we're going to need to move it out that way and this way, right down this line, I think. I'm going to stop where we have the power brakes. So it's on this line. Make it just like those over there. We're going to bring these two down like that. That one's wrong. I think during this initial build phase, I think I am going to sever this last link. And just say, show me what you've got. And I will manually take care of stuff. Okay, so here we've got some more stuff. Are you building yet? Well, I see the two things there. Did I not connect? I don't connect. I haven't connected them up yet. Her to her. You go on there. You go on there. There we go. So every minute, good Lord, 2 rockets every minute. Well, I knew this was going to be a slow factory. I did. So looking at this guy, moving him up onto a subfloor wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't think I would want to make a blueprint out of him, though. Given the way that circle goes down to the bottom, I don't think a raised superfloor would be good on this guy. So we're just going to leave him where he is. So he's running, that's delivered. Magnetic field generator. We're going to strip him across on these 4. So he needs manufacturer, assembler, manufacturer, assembler. I think for consistency, I'm going to want to put an assembler on one of these plates. Let's build that blueprint. But I know that I don't want to sink the assembler into the foundation. Or do I? Hold on. Let's get rid of that power pole. Let's take a look at the assemblers really quick and see if there is a superfloor that we can do. I don't think there is. I want to center it inside the blueprint. The first question is, a 1 meter superfloor, what would that do? I think even a 1 meter superfloor, this is, yeah, we would be getting rid of a whole bunch of detail in the middle. So the assemblers that I'm working on, this guy's at 13%, this guy's at 52%. I don't want to build a full 3 assembler everything. Let's just build a 1 assembler. Just like I had it. You are centered. I'm going to do the same thing as the other guy with a power pole. It's going to be, oh, it's actually a 1/4 meter. Good Lord. The other way to do these is you put it in place like that. And then you drag this guy down here like that. And we've got 3 of these. We can actually just look at these and say, is that better? Or is that better? Yeah, I like that one. And that's pretty close to dead center. So all of these guys are going to be in the wrong place. Pretty much guaranteed. I think I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to bring it down just on those centers, just like that. And you know what? I could do this. Yeah, that works perfectly well, and it reflects the fact that we have nothing at all on that mid-floor. Again, I'm going to turn it that way. So working from bottom up, we've got manufacturer, assembler, manufacturer, assembler. Blueprints. Power. Classic battery. And again, it needs to be unlocked. Okay, and next one is electromagnetic control rod. Then flexible framework. Also needs to be unlocked. And magnetic field generator. Boom. Now, these are all one machine at some small overclock, some small underclock. So, classic battery, sulfur, aluminum sheet, plastic, and wire. I don't think I've brought any of that in yet. Keep on going here. So that's sulfur. All clad aluminum sheets. Plastic and wire. And he's turned wrong. Let's go ahead and plumb this guy in here. Yeah, I should have thought of this a moment ago, and I didn't. So sulfur is next to rubber, around there and up and out this way, and this one's sulfur. Guess we're just going to snake in off of the sulfur mine for turbo fuel A. Oh, wait a minute. Did I set up another sulfur mine anywhere? Nothing that I called sulfur. There's our main sulfur mine. I don't think I actually... made a sulfur mine. I think I just said, oh, I'll bring it in when the time comes. Okay, so we're going to grab off of that same sulfur mine for turbo fuel A, which shows turbo fuel A cannot... Why is his incoming like that? I need to go check that out real quick. I'll be back. Okay, here we are at sulfur, and it was just confusion on my part. In case you were confused too, let's look at this. Sulfur mine for turbo fuel A. We have sulfur in our outgoing here. And when I look at it on this, it is giving us the status of the drone owned by a sulfur mine for turbofuel A, not for the port itself. Drone status cannot unload. The drone has... no, that's wrong. In any case, that's not showing us the status of this drone port. It might be showing us the status of the drone port where the drone is trying to offload. But what that tells me is that we are perfectly okay. Well, among other things, this doesn't own a drone. So, if he doesn't own a drone, then what the heck is this showing us? We don't have a drone. So this has to be the drone that most recently arrived here? Is that right? It's definitely a drone port. And it's definitely showing the sulfur in the incoming. And it's showing the drone status for the drone that is coming to us, not the drone that we own. So I would consider that to be a display bug, which is going to be causing me confusion if I forget that we cannot count on the mouse over status from the map. Just for funsies, let's take a look at the other ones. See these guys. So this is showing wire being supplied here steadily. So this looks like, again, wire supply. It's reversed incoming and outgoing. Because we're definitely providing, unless this is incoming into the drone port from the belt, which is the reverse of how it annotated it elsewhere. So at a minimum, the terminology is inconsistent. Another view of our grand vertical bus here. Slowly auto-gyroing down as we don't have power yet for our hover. We'll have power in a moment. There we are. So I don't feel at all bad about tapping into that sulfur supply. There's rubber, here's sulfur. Sulfur for P4, no drone yet. This port is going to be sulfur mine. At some point, we may need an entire mine dedicated to turbofuel A. I don't think that's at the point yet. So our sulfur draw for this, if we look up at the upper left, we need 3.9 sulfur per minute. That's kind of trivial. So sulfur is our first line here. Aluminum sheets, we're going to come in here, which is next to these guys, cooling systems. So this is around the back, and up here, and next to cooling systems. Get the name right so that if we search for the name properly, it will come up. So the next one is plastic. So that's this one. Plastic is going to be below this, which is smart plating. Again, this goes out here, around back, around back. And it comes in from this end. Yes, I've been... This instance of the game has been running for 4 hours. So there's plastic coming. The last one should be wire. Yep. So wire is coming in over here, just below the fused modular frames. It's on the inside. It goes up and around. We're coming in from this direction this time. So this is wire. So that's got batteries. The batteries are going to go all the way up to the magnetic field generator. I will route that when I'm ready to do the magnetic field generator. He's pointed the right direction, we're good. Next one's electromagnetic control rods, stators, AI limiters. I don't think we have stators or AI limiters yet. Oops. Here we go, electromagnetic control rods. So this is the output. Glad I didn't change that assembler output. So stators and AI limiters. I probably want to wait for this guy to get his stuff, because we've got 1 lane left on there. Got 2 lanes left on here. Two lanes left on here. And 2 lanes left on there. Okay, so we're going to grab it from the middle too. I need to grab that one. Actually got 3 lanes left on this one. Yep. Make sure this one's on this lane, so we want this one. Try that again. Pointed the right direction this time. I really need to wait for this guy to be getting his inputs just to make sure we don't cross things up. There's the wire, and there's the plastic. Yay! Now we can see which lanes we actually used. And I can verify that these don't have anything on them before I start hooking them up. Okay, they're clean. Stators and AI limiters. So stators are going to be next to the aluminum sheets. That line goes around the back. That'd be here. Fly, get me stators. And AI limiters are from this bus next to plastic. So it goes out that way, around the back. There's plastic. So here are our AI limiters. My keyboard is as loud as I'm talking, isn't it? And you get me AI limiters. Yay! I may regret some of the choices I've made on this, but again, I can always put more splitters anywhere along these buses. And I have several levels I can work with to bring things out horizontally, so we're good. So electromagnetic control rods, we should be making those soon. You get used in the magnetic field. So these first two get used all the way up here. So all three of these go to the top. In fact, that's all that goes to the top. So let's take a look at this. Modular frames, steel beams, and rubber. We do have rubber already on one of them. Let's pick that up first. Where did I have rubber? Here we have rubber. Okay, there's rubber. Steel beam and modular frames. Let's take them from the middle. Not this one, but this one. And again, this one is the second one, so we're now taking the last one from this line. Make absolutely sure. Rubber, steel beam, modular frames. Let's bring the steel beams in on this one. So it's the bottom on this lane. And this lane goes all the way around there. And the bottom one is far in the back, so it should be this guy out here. Looks like we have AI limiters on the bus now. Steel beam supply. These guys being fed? Yes, they are. AI limiters and stators coming in here. And I neglected to hook up something in the... Yes, I did. My excuse is I wanted to check this. Well, that's actually a really good reason. I wish I had thought of it. That seemed to drain really quick.
Use Maleo hands on him.
Steel beams, I only got a little burst of steel beams on this guy. It's empty. What's going on with steel beams? Oh, wait a minute. No, these guys should be... Okay, motors. Cooling systems. Stators should be coming to here. So why did we not have any stators in the stator supply? I think I need to go check that out too, northeast of us. I will zipping on over here to stators. So why would we only have a few stators? You are stator supply. You have very few stators coming in. So these should have been making stators and filling up their drone port. All last night. So we should have started off with a full drone port of stators to move. So we're producing 15 per minute. And as we can see in the upper left, we only need a tiny amount of stators to keep those control rods going. So what's going on? Who else is using stators? I have 2 status or P4 stations. Oh no. Geez, I have stators on 2 belts. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I didn't properly prior plan. And I would never have noticed. Let's see. So we had stators coming in for turbo pressure motors and stators coming in for electromagnetic control rods. And we'll have more coming in for speed wiring. So stators should have been one of my first things that I did. So when I did electromagnetic control rods, I should have tapped off of the existing stator line. So where are you trying to get your stators from? You are trying to get it from here, which means this line right here, the line next to the aluminum, needs to not be stators. That's this guy. No port. And I'm going to have to wait for the drone to get back, aren't I? So we actually brought in stators very early, and they're over here. Second one from the top on the far side. So what I'm going to do is, oh, that was foolish. Okay, now I've got AI limiters on both sides. While that's draining. There we go. There's a happy amount of stators and AI limiters. And now you can go along your merry way. So why is this not bringing stators in here? Oh, right. I forgot that I bopped that on the way through to make it easier to do just the draining I wanted. There we go. There's the electromagnetic control rods. So have we got the drone back yet? Yes, and he is just arriving. Going to put a fresh drone in so he knows not to go anywhere. So I guess the thing to do is to check the drone stations first to see if I have a drone moving something. So modular frames, steel beams, and rubber. So we've got the steel beams and the rubber, and the modular frames should be coming from here, which is next to the incorrect stators. So deleting that belt will delete a bunch of stators. Putting it back in, deleting it again, deletes the rest of them. What were we looking for again? Modular frames. Oh, come on. So thermal propulsion rocket also needed those. No, used fused modular frames. Okay. So we're bringing those in. This is the station that we were just messing with next to aluminum. So all ports. Modular frame. We have modular frame supply and modular frames for Big 4, and we're good. So you go get us modular frames. Fetch, boy. And I notice we don't have anybody hooked up yet. That makes sense. I'm going to start with the far one. And you're good. So I'm looking at the recipe there. Magnetic field generator. Where did that battery come in? Why am I making batteries for a recipe that doesn't need it? Hold on. Oh my goodness. Magnetic field generator, versatile frameworks. Let's see, time's 120 seconds. 5 versatile frameworks, 2 control rods, no batteries. wonder how much extra effort I went to just to get the batteries together for that one little thing. We do not need batteries. We never have needed batteries. I went to a lot of effort to make a small amount of batteries for that one recipe where the recipe was wrong. Oh. So flexible frameworks, electromagnetic control rods, so I now have a source of batteries that I don't want. It's entirely possible that some of the ingredients used in batteries are no longer necessary. That may or may not remind me to peel away any of the ingredients on the bus that are no longer needed. So these two, why are these marked in red? Oh, their power was coming from him. Failure to assure power redundancy. There we go. So he's made a bunch and they've gone nowhere. And he's made a bunch and they've gone nowhere. And these two need to go over this way. So I'm going to bring this in. How about start from here on this center. Good enough. One of you comes from here. What's going on? There. Let's bring him just to the power break. And I'm going to just dump. I had some control rods in my inventory. We'll dump them in there. And he's now moving. And he'll be easy to double up with sloops. So, things we've done the nuclear pasta, we've done the thermal production rocket like that, magnetic field generators are done. So all that's left is the assembly director system on the other side. And I think I'm going to start out with the actual output stage first. Routing things is going to be a little difficult. So this is an assembler. Followed by a manufacturer. So it's assembler, manufacturer, assembler, manufacturer, assembler, manufacturer. Let's get the power in. This guy's output is the output of the entire chain. So you come this way, and you are going to be, check the lane, yeah, this lane right here. And that whole belt is the wrong way around. So let's get the manufacturer outputs properly lifted. Guess we can put in the recipes now. High-speed connector, we need a silicon high-speed connector, which means back to the man. Let's check them all. Silicon high-speed connector apparently needs to be researched. Crystal computer. Automated high-speed wiring, I think we already have. OC supercomputer. Adaptive. Okay. Start from this end. Assembly director system, we've got it. Adaptive control system. OC supercomputer, I thought I had been using that. Okay, we'll need to unlock the OC supercomputer. And the crystal computer, good grief. Oops. There it is, crystal computer. Automated speed wiring. Did I carefully pick all of the alternate recipes that not only did I not have unlocked, but I'd already banished by picking the other half of that one? Oh, I'm going to put this on pause until we've got this research worked out. And I'm back. It occurs to me that I didn't yet run my final product down the right-hand side. Let's make sure I've got the right lane here. Actually, I didn't get either one of these done. So thermal propulsion rockets, yay. Confirm those are running. We may end up with a battery memorial gap in the factory. I can just connect that right in there like that. We should have some magnetic field generators, which probably went by while it was busy drawing. Yep, there they are up there. We can catch up to them if we move. But that's okay, we're not actually draining things yet. So we can see that we've got thermal propulsion rockets here and magnetic field generators. And nuclear pasta. And the last one is the final one over there. Let's let this guy eat the rest of this. Wow, is that 2 coupons just in that little bit of time? Couldn't be. Oh, it ingested a whole bunch of everything at once. Yeah, it probably was 2 coupons. So, let's see. Back to what we were doing here. I put some signs up. If it's yellow or green, I've got it programmed. Otherwise, automated speed wiring and silicon high-speed connectors still need to be researched. Well, there's silicon high-speed connectors. And as long as I am admitting that I had a problem, let's double check. See, we've got quick wire and silica and circuit boards. That seems about right. Crystal computers, circuit boards, and crystal oscillators, check. We still need automated speed wiring. OC supercomputers are radio control units and cooling systems, check. And adaptive control units, automated wiring, circuit boards, heavy modular frames, and computers. And adaptive control units and supercomputers here. So this guy takes from adaptive control units and supercomputers. So these two are going to feed into here. Let's get those routed. And I'm going to route that one as well. I think I am going to bring it to, yeah, these guys. You're going to come back to here. Make sure this is what I think it is. Yes. All set. So this guy and this guy headed out there. So this is making speed wiring. So it is used in the adaptive control unit. So this output needs to wrap back around to one of these inputs. All the way back to this guy. Yes. I think let's just set him up parallel this way. I didn't leave nearly enough. Should move these two over to the left more. How far up can I bring it? Here? There. I think I'm going to start from here, bring him up this way, then bring him down through this lane. Verify, we're dealing with automated wiring here. Yep. This one will be automated wiring once we get it unlocked. Okay. Crystal computer output goes to who? That goes up to adaptive control units. The other ones are supercomputers. Again, this guy. Gonna bring it from here. And this goes all the way back to Crystal Computers. I think that's this one. Yes. No doubt once I get everything flowing, I will find all sorts of errors that I've been making. Do we have automated speed wiring yet? Oh, we've had it. Okay. Here. I'm not sure how I missed that. There we go. Should have put the signs on the other side. That's where I'm sitting when I normally need them. So the last output is this first guy here, high-speed connector. Who does he go to? He goes to the automated speed wiring. So I'm going to bring from here back this direction. Parallel here. Dope. Come on. Okay, so the outputs are all routed to the appropriate inputs. let's start with this one. He needs quick wire, silica, and circuit boards. So do we have quick wire, silica, or circuit boards anywhere here? I don't believe we do. So I'm going to bring, I think, let's see, we've got 2 belts there, 2 belts there, and 3 belts there. So we're going to bring, 2 belts there. I'm going to bring quick wire in next to wire. So that's in this bank. So here's wire. So this guy's going to be quick wire. Silica and circuit boards. I'm going to bring silica in over here underneath the sulfur, which I'm beginning to suspect we don't need. So silica is next to sulfur in this row. So this guy, there's the drone. Double checking, yep. And circuit boards. Circuit boards are going to bring in here. So they're next to the modular frames. So that guy, back row. Come on. So we are here. I need a way to lock the hotbar. So circuit boards are coming in on the bottom of this guy at some point. Nope, not bottom, second from the bottom. Should I just wait? I think I'm just going to wait for him. Next one is circuit boards and crystal oscillators. So if we've got circuit boards coming in from there, I'm going to bring in crystal oscillators on the bottom of this guy. And circuit boards are coming in here. No, they aren't. They're coming in over here. I'm going to have to bring this in from the other direction. Let's reverse this. Crystal oscillators and circuit boards. Okay, crystal oscillators. Bottom lane of this V-bus. It wraps around. It's the inner lane here. There's our quick wire. So this is crystal oscillators. And circuit boards have arrived. Yay! So you should be producing now, and you are. Why is this not getting its circuit boards? Something wrong with this. I'm not sure what's going on with that, because it looks like it's got 3 in 1, try changing it. Okay, so I wonder if presenting the things to the other sides causes a... It's doing the same thing. Okay, I'm going to place the assembler again. Oh, I wonder if it was bumped up vertically by that power plug. Could very well be. So it never really got a decent connection. Got to watch out for that. It's doing the same thing. Oh, wait a minute. Why am I getting quartz crystal? I'm supposed to have crystal oscillators on that port. No. So I put quartz crystal here. It needs to be crystal oscillators. Oh, joy. So we need to drain this line. Well, that's going to be easy. So I'm going to put a smart splitter out here. So quartz crystals are going to be passed straight through. Strictly temporary. I'm going to go from here up to here. So these are AI limiters. We want to build crystal computers. So we got AI limiters when we needed circuit boards. Yeah. that's going to be correct, but it's not correct yet. But that means that I may have problems elsewhere. So you got your circuit boards. I just pulled them back from the wrong level. Circuit boards are on this level. Yeah, I picked it off of the wrong bus, that was it. I think those are all circuit boards. Yep. And now we just need to get our crystal oscillators. There we go. Computers are now running. Slowly but surely, we're weeding our way through this. Automated speed wiring. We have our connectors. We just need wire and stators. I believe we have both available. And both of them are on this vertical. So, wire. I'm going to bring it from here. And I'm going to bring the stator right next to it. Like that. There we go. And automated wiring is now going. So this works. That means we can tap two off from each side. OZ supercomputer, control units, and cooling systems. Just double checking, and they indeed are both external inputs. They are not mentioned anywhere below us, which means nobody else is using them. So there's a belt there on the bottom. There's a belt there. So this just comes from over here. This is good. So these are the bottom lanes of these buses. It's the bottom on this end or the other end? I think it's on this end. Okay. So this guy is going to be radio control units. Okay, so this port connects to radio control unit supply. And this one is going to be cooling systems. We already have cooling systems for P4, which means I want to pick up that lifter that I just put in and replace it in the proper place. We are looking for cooling systems. Right there. So now we just need to wait for radio control units to arrive. So 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Considering how long the animation is, they must be really close. Doesn't say how far they are. So adaptive control units, circuit boards, and heavy modular frames. So we know circuit boards are over here. We were just dealing with those. And heavy modular frames, that's just normal modular frames. We may not have brought those over yet. Let's see. Nope. We are the only consumer of heavy modular frames. So we're looking for an empty belt. Okay, bring it in on the bottom here. So there's heavy modular frames on that belt right there. So that's the one we were about to assign. Fly, bring us frames. So that needs for us to be making adaptive control units, which are almost ready, and supercomputers, control units and cooling systems. So radio control units we've got. I guess RCUs haven't started flowing yet. So we just wait for the radio control units and heavy modular frames to start arriving. Well, they are arriving. So this guy is not picking up from the right place. So I just basically put that in the wrong one. I think I caught it. He would have ended up with heavy modular frames coming in. There we go. Supercomputers are making. And you are connected up to the line that will be heavy modular frames momentarily. I see them coming in. And here we go. So now we're just waiting for adaptive control units to build. So can I afford to sloop all this? How are we doing for power? So we are now consuming 25 gigawatts out of the about 35. I think I can sloop things. So let's sloop everybody up to double. Just the last stages, though. So you're the biggie. You're going to go up to 6 gigawatts. And you go up a bit. Whoops. Turbo pressure motors. That's not the output. Your output's on this end. Thermal propulsion rockets. There we go. So those are all slooped. And I didn't actually underclock all of this. So we are going to run this at higher speed than normal until we have drained some of the critical inputs. And we'll be able to see which inputs are critical. Now we're not going to start feeding the elevator quite yet. I do want to watch our power consumption, see what that looks like. Oh, look at that. 30 gigawatts out of 34 capacity. I'm going to let this churn for a bit. I'll leave the recording on. So we're at the 3-hour mark. There's going to be some dead area for a while, just staring at the power while this churns along. And when I come back, we'll go take a look and see what our actual production rates are on our final machines. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. Let me turn the camera back on here. So I've been just letting this run so I could scrub over that 10 minutes of data. And just glanced at it once in a while as it's going by. It looks like our power is good. We are slooped. We are sending all of our production over to here. So looks like, yeah, 1+ million points per minute syncing at our current rate. Now we are probably still using buffered up stuff elsewhere, because this is, like I said, this is really slow and we're talking really low quantities, and we started out with full drone ports full of everything. But let's take a look at what we've got here and let's compare it with our actual desired net exports. Hold on, I'm trying to get the editor going properly. Oop, there we go. So that's the rates that we're looking for to complete phase A. Just to double check, this is well, let's do the math on how much. If we got 500 assembly director systems to do, it divided by 0.521, so that's 960 minutes. That's 16 hours at that rate. We are currently running at 100%, and instead of 0.1 per minute, we're doing 1 per minute. So, yeah, and this will decrease when we start running low on pressure conversion cubes. Assembly director systems, we need 0.5. We're getting 1.5 per minute out of here at 68% efficiency. That's 1.02, so we're doing good there. And that's going to be throttled by adaptive control units. We're looking for the next big thing, which is here, thermal propulsion rockets. So we're getting about 1 a minute out. We need 1/4 per minute, so we're very good there. And the last one is this guy. Magnetic field generators, 2 per minute. So we're running anywhere from 2 to 4x normal speed. 2x gets us our 8 hours. So I think we're good here. I'm going to save this up and I'm going to move it over to the shared server. Excuse me, the dedicated server. So I can leave it going in the background while I edit and upload all of that stuff. If you are hovering when you enter the game, you tend to fall. So I am going to park myself over here real quick. And I will be back when I've got this loaded on the dedicated server. And here we are. I have thrown up the map real quick so we could take a look at the image on the interactive map. As long as I was going to move a save around, you can see the basic layout is what we had before, and we've got our machines set up here. You can see our machines taking their inputs from the buses, sending their outputs back out this direction. Just for comparison, here's the other one. Again, this is going to be mostly building and infrastructure and drone ports with a little bit of production thrown in because we're very low rate. At higher rates, we need something more than drones to bring us the stuff. So let's turn off the map real quick. So everything is running. And now I need to set this up. Now, instead of setting these filters to pass just the thing I want, I'm just going to set these to any, because I'm not sure which one's which. I should have left some inputs backed up on the belt or something. Hey, and we already have 3 thermal propulsion rockets in there. So now the countdown begins. Should be 8 hours or much less, depending on how much backlog we've got and who's running slow. Now, there was one of our things that I needed to overclock. Let me bring that up. Adaptive control units need overclocking. Was it? Where did they go? I should have left the signs up. Yeah, of course I went the wrong direction. So these guys, they do need to be overclocked. I'm going to put it at 200%. It needs to be like 102% or something. 105. I'm going to put it 200% and let him run a little fast. So power requirements for these go to from 2 gigawatts to 6 gigawatts and back. So consistently throughout this factory, I've been rounding up my production capabilities, although I haven't been terrifically overbuilding some of the things. So something is going to bottleneck for us. We just don't know what. And I think at this point, our best bet is to let this run for a few hours. And I'll come back in the next recording with a checkpoint, and we'll see how we're doing. I will see you in the next recording.